in the day, we had no clue. Tomorrow was waiting for me and you. Stories unfold like a time travel view. Then, now, and you. That's the groove. Past is the present in every move. Tune in, listen, it's all brand new. Then, now, and you. That's the groove.
Welcome back to Then, Now, and You. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a big question. Why do empires fall? Like, what actually causes these massive, powerful civilizations to just, collapse? And more importantly, what the hell does that mean for us today? I'm joined once again by the amazing Dr. Emily Carter, historian, writer, and the person who can make me feel dumb and smarter at the same time. Emily, welcome back.
Thanks. It's good to be back. And hey, if I make you feel smarter at the end, then my job's done.
Yeah, but also dumber, so it's like a package deal. Okay, so Emily, let's get right into it. People always talk about Rome. Like, Rome Fidel is this big dramatic idea. But did Rome actually, fall? Or is that just the History Channel being dramatic?
That's actually a great question. Rome didn't fall overnight. It wasn't like one day everyone woke up and said, oh no, the empire's gone. It was more of a slow unraveling. Economic troubles, political corruption, overexpansion, military strain, and yes, invading groups like the Goths.
So basically, Rome died the way I imagine myself dying. Slowly, surrounded by chaos, and broke.
Well, in some ways, yes. But really, Rome's fall was a centuries-long process. That's why historians debate it so much. Some argue it didn't really fall. It just transformed into something else.
Okay, so that's Rome. But, are there patterns? Do all empires collapse the same way? Or are they more like bad relationships, each one unique, but somehow equally messy?
That's actually not a bad analogy. There are patterns. For example, overexpansion is huge. Empires grow too big to govern efficiently. Then you've got inequality, corruption, economic strain, climate pressures, and sometimes just plain arrogance.
So you're saying empires collapse for the same reasons I quit going to the gym: overcommitment, stress, and arrogance.
Pretty much. And also leadership. When leadership becomes short-sighted, self-serving, or just plain incompetent, things fall apart much faster.
Okay, but hold up. Let's bring this then into the now. Are you telling me we could be watching the same thing happen today?
That's the million-dollar question. A lot of historians and political scientists see warning signs in today's world. Polarization, corruption, widening inequality, climate stress, even the way technology can destabilize economies.
Great. So basically, we're all screwed.
Not necessarily. The lesson from history isn't just that empires fall. It's that societies can also adapt. Collapse isn't always total destruction. Sometimes it's transformation.
Okay, so instead of collapse, it's more like a shitty rebrand.
Exactly. Rome didn't vanish. It morphed into medieval Europe. The British Empire collapsed, but the UK is still around, just not ruling half the globe.
So maybe America 2.0 someday? Or America with ads, brought to you by Pepsi.
Hopefully not that, but yes, transformation is always possible.
Let's go back to this idea of arrogance for a second, because it feels like every empire eventually thinks it's invincible, right?
Yes, that's a key theme. When a society convinces itself it's immune to decline, it often ignores the warning signs. That overconfidence makes collapse more likely.
So you're saying history is basically one big hold my beer moment.
That's one way of putting it.
Okay, Emily, here's my burning question. If you could take one big lesson from Rome or, I don't know, the Mongols, the Ottomans, whoever, and slap it on a billboard for today's world leaders, what would it say?
Probably something like, pay attention to your foundations, because empires often fall when they ignore the basics. Fair governance, economic stability, inclusion, sustainability. You can build monuments and armies, but if the foundations crack, it all crumbles.
So basically, don't be an asshole or the empire dies.
That's the short version, yes.
Okay, last thing, for regular people listening who don't run an empire, except maybe like an HOA board, what do we actually do with this information?
I'd say the lesson is to stay engaged. Healthy societies don't just come from the top, they come from active, informed citizens. If people push back against corruption, inequality, and short term thinking, societies have a much better chance of adapting instead of collapsing.
So basically, don't just sit on the couch and complain on Reddit.
Exactly.
All right, that's both inspiring and terrifying, which is like the perfect combo for this show. Emily, thank you for making me feel like we're all doomed, but maybe not totally.
My pleasure.
All right, folks, that's all the time we've got today. If you enjoyed this little trip through history and maybe had a mild existential crisis along the way, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us keep the lights on. And hey, maybe together we'll avoid becoming another fallen empire. See you next time on Then, Now, and You.